So you're building your first home. That's incredible. But that dream, it usually comes with a pretty big challenge, right? How do you get amazing quality without your budget just spiraling out of control? Well, it all starts with that very first brick. And getting that decision wrong can cost you big time. But what if I told you that you could actually build a stronger home and still save a whole lot of money? Well, you can, and I'm going to show you exactly how.
Just take a look at these numbers. For a pretty standard two-bedroom house, the typical way people handle masonry costs around 1,72,000 rupees. But a smarter way, a more strategic approach, we're talking just under 1,25,000. That is a huge difference right from the get-go.
So that leads us to the big question, doesn't it? How on earth is that possible? How can you pocket over 47,000 rupees, not by using cheaper stuff, but by actually making your home stronger and more reliable? The answer isn't about spending less, it's about spending smarter.
Look, it's not magic. The secret is all in the strategy. It's about really understanding your materials, knowing the right techniques, and I mean knowing what to use, where to use it, and how to put it all together to get the best strength and efficiency. And we're about to break that all down for you step by step. It all starts with the most basic thing, literally the building block of your house, the brick. So the first big decision is picking the right kind of brick, and this is the crucial part, using it in the right place. See, not every wall in your house does the same job, so why would they all need the same, most expensive bricks? They don't. Let's put the two most common clay bricks head to head. You've got your first-class bricks. They're the heavy hitters when it comes to strength. That N per mm squared, that's just a fancy way of saying they're tough. They also don't soak up much water. This makes them perfect for your foundation and the walls facing the weather. Then you have second-class bricks. A little less strong, yeah, but way cheaper. They're a fantastic, money-saving choice for internal walls that aren't holding up the roof. But hey, the story doesn't stop with just clay. We've got some really cool modern options now. They're fly ash bricks, which are lighter and better for the environment. And then you have AAC blocks, which are amazing insulators and can actually speed up your construction because they're so big. Each one has its own superpower, you know? And a smart builder knows how to use all of them.
And here it is. This is the first huge secret to saving a ton of money. The hybrid strategy. You use those super tough, water-resistant first-class bricks where it matters most, the foundation. Then for your main outer walls, those lightweight fly ash bricks are a fantastic choice. And for all the inside walls that just divide up rooms, those quick-to-install AAC blocks are perfect. You see? You're putting the best stuff exactly where you need it for a stronger, smarter build.
Okay, so you've picked out the perfect mix of bricks. Awesome. The next layer to this whole strategy is how you put them together. It's called the bond, which is just the pattern the bricks are laid in. And this pattern, it's not just about looking pretty. It's the key to your wall's strength and, you guessed it, another huge way to save money.
Think of this as your cheat sheet for walls. For your main exterior walls that are holding up weight, you go with the English bond. Strength is everything there. But for the inside partition walls, the stretcher bond is way more economical and does the job perfectly. And for something like a boundary wall, where you want a little bit of style, the Flemish bond gives you a great mix of good looks and solid strength.
And we're not talking about small change here. The savings are massive. Just by using the stretcher bond for your internal walls, you can save 50% on bricks and about 30% on labor for those parts of the house. I mean, come on! It's the right tool for the right job and it saves you a fortune.
And what if you want something that looks good too? Well, that's where the Flemish bond comes in. It gives you this beautiful decorative pattern, and it even uses about 15% fewer bricks than the super strong English bond. Now the trade-off, you need a really skilled mason to pull it off perfectly, so you gotta factor that in. Okay, so picking the right materials and patterns, that's half the battle. But the other half is what actually happens on the construction site. Let's get into the hands-on techniques that make all the difference. The stuff that separates a really professional job from a costly mistake. You don't need any fancy equipment for this. Before you even agree to buy the bricks, you can be your own quality inspector. Just clap two bricks together. Do they make a nice, clear ringing sound? Good. Now try to scratch one with your fingernail. It shouldn't leave a mark. These super simple 5-minute tests make sure you're getting the quality you're paying for, right from the start.
Okay, lean in for this one, because if you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Always soak your bricks in water before you use them. A dry brick is like a thirsty sponge. It literally sucks the water right out of the mortar before it can cure and get strong. What you're left with is a weak, crumbly bond that can ruin an entire wall. It is so simple to do, and it is absolutely non-negotiable.
You know what's crazy? On a typical building site, about 15% of the bricks just get wasted. Broken, dropped, poorly stored. But just by being careful, stacking them right, handling them properly, you can slash that waste down to just 3%. For a 2-bedroom house, that simple bit of care puts about 14,000 rupees right back into your pocket.
All right, we have covered a lot. From the types of bricks, to the bonds that hold them together, to the tricks of the trade on site. Now, let's pull all of these threads together and see exactly how these smart moves add up to that amazing 47,000 rupees saving we talked about in the beginning.
And here it is, the final scorecard. On the left, you've got the standard way of doing things, costing $1,72,000. On the right, our smart, strategic approach, coming in at just under $1,25,000. The grand total in savings? 47,150 rupees. The proof is right there in the numbers.
So you're probably asking, where did that all come from? Well, it's not one single magic bullet. Look here, just cutting down on waste got us 14,000 rupees. Using that smart stretcher bond for the inside walls, another 12,000. Even things like getting your mortar mix just right and buying your bricks locally to cut down on transport costs, they all add up. Every single smart decision makes a difference.
In the end, building a house is about so much more than just bricks and cement. The strongest, most lasting foundation you can ever possibly lay is knowledge. When you understand these ideas, you're not just saving money. You're taking charge of your project. You're making sure your dream home is built to last a lifetime. So the only question left is, are you ready to build yours?